a challenger many times for that FSW championship, and we'll see if he can wrest it away from Mike Verna here tonight. There he is.
Absolutely, ladies and gentlemen, making his way to the ring, Superstar Whiplash, hailing from wherever the hell he wants. And Mr. Steranko is a huge fan of this individual. I cannot say that I am the same.
I can't wait to knock some back with the new champion later on tonight.
Or we may see Verna retain the championship, and I don't think you're going to be drinking with him. He doesn't seem too fond of you, Dyson.
No, I'm not going to be drinking with Verna, but even if Verna comes on top, I'm still going to have a couple with Mr. Whiplash.
Right, Superstar Whiplash here, coming into the ring. And the fans are not all happy with the actions of this gentleman here.
I don't know why Verna doesn't like me. I'm Dyson Steranko. Everyone should like me.
Well, many of these fans, I think, are not too fond of you either. But regardless,
I'm not too fond of them.
well, you give and you get, I guess. But Whiplash in the ring, Whiplash preparing for what may be his toughest challenge ever.
That's right. Whiplash is a very real threat to the world champion. Speaking of,
ladies and gentlemen, making his way to the ring now, the man of steel, the face of Fighting Spirit Wrestling, the heavyweight champion of Fighting Spirit Wrestling, the champion, ladies and gentlemen, the champion Mike Verna, on his way to the ring to defend his title, as he's been doing time and time again here.
and these fans going nuts for Mike Verna.
Well, Mike Verna, one of the most beloved competitors here at FSW, the champion, taking pictures with the fans. The fans love Mike Verna.
How could you take pictures with fans when you got Superstar Whiplash waiting for you in that ring?
Mr. Verna taking selfies with the fans here. He's loved by the fans. And the champion has come into the ring, ladies and gentlemen, making his way into the center of the ring. The man of steel, Mike Verna. Here he is.
Mike Verna showing off those championship titles, getting the fans fired up for this title match.
Absolutely. Mr. Verna ready to compete. He's a quite ferocious competitor all the time.
I'll give you that.
Challenger, hailing from wherever he wants, weighing a ceiling of 185 pounds, Superstar
Whiplash not getting a great reaction here.
Not at all.
Anyone from me?
Opponent, hailing from Brooklyn, New York, weighing a ceiling of 235 pounds. He is the Dynasty Pro Heavyweight Champion and the current reigning and defending Fighting Spirit Wrestling Heavyweight Champion, the man of steel, Mike Verna.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Verna, the champion, he's in the ring here.
Look at this. Streamers for the champ.
Streamers, a show of appreciation for Mike Verna.
Absolutely.
I think he paid all these people off.
The fans throwing streamers into the center of the ring as the champion is getting ready to face off here against Superstar Whiplash in an unbelievable main event here at Fighting Spirit Wrestling.
Whiplash.
Only the strong, ladies and gentlemen, only the strong. Only the strong will survive this match here.
Whiplash tossing the streamers, kicking the streamers out of his way in a pretty angry manner. He wants to get down to business. He wants that belt around his waist.
Oh, he can't wait to take it to Mike Verna.
This will be some match here.
And there's the bell, ladies and gentlemen, for this main event match at Only the Strong. Once again, I am the Ace Dante Jace along with Wesley Bowles and Dyson Steranko. We have Mike Verna taking on Whiplash in a championship match. And gentlemen, this is a special event for me because it's my 1-year anniversary here at FSW. I started back at 9 Lives last year, and I've seen so many great matches, but I think this one may be the greatest of them all.
Yeah,
it has the potential to be. What do you gentlemen think about this match? Of course, we've got Mike Verna, the champion, and Whiplash taking him over right now. Who do you give the advantage to, Wesley?
I'll give the advantage to Mr. Verna. He is the champion, but you cannot discount the wrestling ability of Mr. Whiplash. He's quite a devious character, quite an effective wrestler, and the size and strength and power of Mr. Verna does not seem to concern Mr. Whiplash one bit.
Well, I would agree. You see Verna right now saying, Whiplash, you're a lot smaller than me. He may try to bully Whiplash in this match. What do you think, Dyson?
Well, like you just said, right now, Verna's using bullying tactics. But I'm not going to take anything away from Verna. There's a reason he's the champ. But Whiplash is bringing something completely different to this contest.
Absolutely. Mr. Whiplash, quite a tough customer. As him and Mr. Verna going at it, having a go here. Mr. Verna showing his power here, asserting his dominance early on in the match. And there's a 2 count, ladies and gentlemen, but only a 2 count.
It's pretty amazing. Those are like rolling suplexes.
Yeah, Mike Verna has got a lot of power. Whiplash is going to have to pull out some sneaky maneuvers in order to get the win, I think. Mike Verna, there's a hip toss.
Oh, he can do that.
We don't know. Gentlemen, Mr. Stockpile may be a factor. You don't know. We saw what he did last time.
Very good point, Wesley.
We don't know what's going to happen here.
Stackpole, a wild card. Of course, earlier in the night, he became the boss of FSW. He's had a long-time rivalry with Mike Verna. Maybe Stackpole is going to do some underhanded tactics to get Whiplash to get that belt.
Well, you know, Verna should have played his cards right leading up to this. You know, be nice to everybody. Don't start a fight with someone like Stackpole, because it might come back and bite you, like it might tonight.
I wonder, Mr. Verna had unfinished business with Mr. Stockpole last time because of the interference employed by Mr. Stockpole, and I wonder how Mr. Verna feels about Mr. Stockpole running things, running the show as it were here at Fighting Spirit Wrestling.
Well, I'm sure he doesn't like it. Verna and Stackpole, some of the worst enemies you can ever think of.
Yeah,
But Verna taking a breather right now, waiting for Whiplash to get back in the ring, and that gives Whiplash the advantage to take a cheap shot.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Call it a cheap shot. I'd say that's Whiplash taking advantage of the situation. Verna was up there taking a breather, as you said. You really think he should be doing that, defending the title?
Well, if he's got Whiplash out of the ring trying to recover himself, then I say Verna has every right to wait in the ring and rest himself. But regardless, Verna in control once again. Whiplash ducking under. Whiplash going for a high-risk maneuver, but Verna catches him mid-air. And there's Verna with a running power slam, Oklahoma slam, and sends him down to the mat. Only a 2 count. Whiplash kicks out.
Mr. Verna trying to make short work of Whiplash, but not an easy task. He's a tough guy to deal with.
Yeah, that's for sure, Wesley. Mike Verna, one of the toughest competitors in professional wrestling today, the man of steel, and he's just opening up right now. Whiplash trying to fight back, but Verna beating him down. Verna sending Whiplash into the corner turnbuckle.
Oh, do not count Whiplash out. Trust me.
Very good point, Dyson.
There you go.
Oh, and there's Whiplash fighting back. There's a kick to Verna's jaw, it looked like.
That'll put you down.
Maybe a dislocated jaw. Of course, remember last time.
Look at the agility.
Oh.
Look at the agility on Whiplash.
Unbelievable.
Last time, Verna was dropped right on his head with a pile driver. He's had concussion issues in the past.
Absolutely, the concussion issues in the past, as addressed by Mr. Stockpole, but that will not stop the champion putting it all on the line here and doing what he can do to retain that championship belt, to remain the champion, to stay the champion of Fighting Spirit Wrestling.
Whiplash has knocked his legs into those ropes, which hurts a lot.
Yeah, and the back of his head, I think, too, hit the canvas on that suplex. Whiplash, I mean, he may be dealing with a concussion right now.
Absolutely.
You don't want to lose your legs when you're fighting Mike Verna.
He was bloody thrashed by Mr. Verna, and here's Mr. Verna will work on him outside the ring there.
Uh-oh. Verna's moving that steel girder.
Unbelievable. What are we going to see here? Hey.
Mike Verna just slamming Whiplash onto that steel guardrail
Unbelievable.
and suplexing him to the ground.
And Mike Verna having his way right now with Superstar Whiplash.
Any of this necessary? The match should be decided in the ring. This is a championship match.
Well, both men pulling off all the stops, and Ref Ozzy is up to a 7 count.
Almost had a double count out there.
And Mr. Verna making his way back into the center of the ring here. And we have some match here. Title match, the main event here, Fighting Spirit Wrestling. And Mr. Verna with the suicide dive and bloody thrashing Whiplash against the guardrail there. And he felt that for sure, ladies and gentlemen.
That's right.
More
Wesley,
like kamikaze dives.
Verna taking Whiplash out. Verna, I see a renewed fire in him, so to speak. Just trying to take Whiplash out relatively early on in this contest and get the win.
Absolutely.
Looks like he's trying to get a count out.
Well, you win any way you can, and of course, Verna would retain the title on a count out.
Mr. Verna trying to make short work here of Whiplash, but it will not be easy. As we've seen, Mr. Whiplash is quite a competitor, and having a go with Mike Verna, not the easiest opponent for either gentleman in the ring here.
Whiplash having that knowledge, knowing what's going on in the ring at all points.
Oh, Whiplash with the stunner.
There it is, the stunner. We saw Whiplash do that to Mr. Verna last time, uninvited into the match, just showed up and decided to put a stunner on him there.
Yeah, he also says that's a Whiplash effect because he tries to give his opponents Whiplash when he hits that stunner. But Whiplash now going up to the top rope, going there's the swanton, hits Mike Verna right in the midsection.
He's visiting all corners.
Ladies and gentlemen, the champion is in trouble in the center of the ring. Superstar Whiplash again on the top rope, and what does he have in store for him here?
Oh, there's that frog splash. And only Verna kicks out.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Verna was almost not the champion, as it were. A 2 count, quite close, and if it was one of those Japanese counts, we're not sure what it would have been.
Very good point, Wesley. And of course, that star treatment frog splash has put away several competitors here in the past. So Whiplash has got to be wondering, what's he got to do right now?
Absolutely.
He's showing you what he has to do right now. He's going for it once again.
Mr. Stranko, you must say Mr. Verna absolutely has a lot of heart, as it were. The man's been bloody thrashed here, and Whiplash...
looks like he had a heart attack right now.
And what's going on here? We got Mr. Morris and Mr. Maximo lurking outside the ring. We're not sure exactly what's going on.
Do you think that's fair?
Well, I don't know if they're distracting Whiplash. Are they trying to form a plan with him? What's going on here?
Ladies and gentlemen, the former COO of Fighting Spirit Wrestling and Mr. Morris conferring with Superstar Whiplash. And what's going on here? Unbelievable.
Whiplash attacking Blake Morris.
Well, what are they doing out here? He has a title match right now.
Perhaps he'll have a go at Mr. Maximo as well.
And look who else is here, PJ Stackpole.
And here's Mr. Stockpole, and here's...
What is Maximo doing?
Mr. Maximo, and again, a title match is getting interrupted here under the tutelage of Mr. Stockpole. This is the second time tonight, Mr. Stockpole. What is going on here in Fighting Spirit Wrestling? You must keep it together better than that, sir.
Well, whatever's happening, Mike Verna taking advantage, clotheslining Whiplash to the ground.
And Mr. Verna maybe closing in. He said he would take care of Mr. Stockpole. Mr. Verna clearly gave that look there. And what is going on here?
I don't know about that.
We got Gerald Maximo on one corner and Mike Verna here. Superstar Whiplash in the ring. Here's Mike Verna back into the ring.
Oh, and Mike Verna with the Krypton bomb. That's got to be it. That's only a 2 count. Whiplash kicking out.
Right. Quite
tenacity of Whiplash.
Absolutely. On display, the heart of Whiplash. He's a tough guy to pin. You really got to hurt this guy.
Let's point out something. This is the second event in a row that Verna gets an advantage because Mr. Stackpole.
Mike Verna once again with a clothesline.
Blasted him with the clothesline. Proper, perfectly hit flush there. Mr. Verna with some words for Mr. Maximo.
And some words for Blake Morris as well.
Absolutely. It looks like he's being attacked from all sides here.
This has got to be it. A second Krypton bomb, but Mike Verna just pulling Whiplash's shoulder up. He wants to punish him even more.
The tenacity here of Whiplash
Oh, and Mike Verna. Now look at this. Texas Cloverleaf. Is Whiplash going to tap out?
Whiplash, quite a tough guy. And
Referee
there it
calls for
is,
the
ladies
bell.
and gentlemen. He's topped out. Mike Verna.
That's unfortunate.
And Mike Verna has submitted his opponent here. The champion retains the title, ladies and gentlemen. Mike Verna, the man of steel. Unbelievable.
I don't think Whiplash tapped out, but he was probably knocked out after that second Krypton bomb, and the referee had no choice but to stop this contest.
Well, I couldn't see it from here. I didn't see what was going on, if he tapped out or not, but absolutely he's submitted.
Wait a second.
Well, now Blake Morris
Got
in
some
the
things
ring.
mixing up in the ring right now.
Yeah, we saw Mr. Morris lurking about the ring last time when Mr. Maximo had a go at Mr. Verna. And what exactly is going on?
Look
And
who's
ladies
back.
and gentlemen,
It's those guys.
the invaders of Fighting Spirit Wrestling, and I wonder if Mr. Stockpole has anything to do with this here.
Well, they may be part of his group, his
Wait a second, look at this.
his new authority. I'm not sure who these guys are, but they're the ones who interfered before the fans even asking who these guys are.
Oh, wait a second, the Elite is out here.
The Elite trying to get revenge on those two after they attacked them earlier.
Unbelievable. And where did these guys come from? They just appeared again, ladies and gentlemen.
You know,
We have, and there they go, out the front door, ladies and gentlemen.
Once
They're
again,
running out the front door.
being chased from the arena.
These marauders who have invaded the safe space, as it were, Fighting Spirit Wrestling. Unbelievable.
I'm not too pleased by the way that match ended.
Meanwhile, in the ring,
Wait a second.
Here's Sharon Maximo having a go at Mike Verna, ladies and gentlemen. What universe are we living in here, ladies and gentlemen?
this is crazy, Wesley. Look at Mike Verna now, just at odds with Joel Maximo and
Very
Blake
interesting.
Morris.
You know what?
Wait a second.
Enough's enough. Joel, he has nothing to do. Shut the fuck up.
Mr. Maximo asserting his power here, his dominance, and bloody ripped the mic away from Mr. Verna.
Colorful language.
Look up to you. All you do is come out here and cry like a little baby because PJ's in your fucking head.
Oh, I agree. I agree with
wow.
Maximo.
Blake, waiting for a title shot for over a year now. That's what happens in wrestling. You move up the ladder, you face the champion. So what has he done to earn this? Is my point. What brings him in under your wing? Lucha legend.
Fair counterpoint by Mike Verna.
What a real man's gonna do. I kill them all. We didn't give these fans what they wanted from me and you because I hurt you. So this is what we do at the Lions Den. Every titles are defended. Every single one of them. So I'm going to defend my title and give you the rematch that these people deserve. And if your little bitch wins the Lions Den, I'll be here for it too. I'll be here for it too.
Hey, let him go now.
Strong words here from Mr. Verna, and this is
And they're going.
It's on, baby.
they're having a go.
now.
Mr. Morris.
Can't wait till next month.
And
gonna go down
Stackpole
right now.
also back in the ring. Come on, guys.
Mr. Maximo will have a go at Mr. Stockpole and bloody thrushes him, utterly tossed him out of the ring. And we have absolute chaos. There's been a coup de grace in Fighting Spirit Wrestling. No one knows who's in control anymore. Mr. Maximo trying to grab the reins of power back.
He had no right to do that to PJ Stackpole.
Well, Mike Verna and Blake Morris don't want to wait for the Lions
Let 'em
Den
go.
or the event afterwards. They just want to fight right now.
And our refs trying to break up these two gentlemen here. Not an easy task.
Officials holding Blake Morris back after that match with Mike Verna and Whiplash. I mean, he's had a lot taken out of him, but he's ready to go right now, right for another match right now.
What world are we living in here, ladies and gentlemen? This has been unbelievable. Fighting Spirit Wrestling
The Psycho Circus tomorrow.
has been jumped on its head.
Pretty boy.
Mike Verna with a threat for Blake Morris.
Look at Stackpole.
And
In
Mr.
Verna's
Stockpole
ear.
on the apron saying something to Mr. Verna. We're not sure. That relationship is quite mysterious at this point.
Interesting. Interesting stuff.
Well, Mike Verna leaving the arena. Who knows if PJ Stackpole is in his ear or not.
Mr. Stockpole leaving right after Mr. Verna, and perhaps they'll have a talk behind closed doors here.
And Blake Morris up on the rope celebrating to a chorus of boos.
Hey,
well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed this event here tonight. FSW, only the strong